What's up everyone? My name is Emily, welcome back to Emily Reads Books, and today we're going to talk about my most favorite story maybe forever, ever, and that is Beauty and the Beast. If you have been around my channel for a while, you will know that Beauty and the Beast is one of my most favorite stories ever. I have read many retellings of it, many books pertaining to Beauty and the Beast, and I've seen the movie so many times I can speak along before the characters say all their lines. So today I thought it would be fun to kind of talk through some of the retellings I've read. There are three things in this world that I absolutely love infinitely, and it is musical theater, my cats, and Beauty and the Beast. So that's all I got going for me. Let's get to it. So I guess we should start at the beginning. So here is my beautiful Barnes & Noble Classics collection copy of Beauty and the Beast and Other Fairy Tales. This is this book. My dad and I were there in mid-December, I think 2 years ago, and I kind of was just staring at it, and then he kind of just took it out of my hands and went to the register and then had it wrapped by the people there. But I knew what it was. I knew it was for me. It was waiting for me under the Christmas tree. It is one of my most prized possessions. Look at this beautiful book. I even the inside of the cover, like, oh, it's gorgeous, amazing. And it has a ton of fairy tales that I had never heard of before, all pertaining to either a beauty or a beast, because you know the title. So okay, these books I have had since I was a teeny tiny baby, and so this has, I think I've mentioned this in another video, this has my favorite illustrations of all time in terms of you know what I'm saying. Sometimes I will just page through this, and it is because on this specific page, oh, it's the last page, okay. Look at the dress. Look at Prince Adam. Look how good they are. And the sparkles on the way. I love it. Anyway, we have the Princess Collection, which I definitely have showed in a different video. I think it was when I was reorganizing my bookshelf. And many people had commented that they had also read this book growing up. It has been read so many times. I mean, this page is ripped in half. Just look at this. Look at the art. Literally, nothing brings me more joy than oh my gosh. They're so cute. Okay, sorry. Anyway, so that's those books. I don't have too much to say about them other than, I mean, the original tale, definitely a 10 out of 10. I liked a lot of things about it that, I mean, the Disney movie is kind of its own thing, but the original fairy tale, it isn't like Cinderella and everything where the Grimm's brothers, it's a dark tale, you know, like Cinderella, they cut off the feet and the stepsisters get their eyes plucked out, and in the original Beauty and the Beast retelling, it's actually almost more romantic and sad than the Disney movie. Obviously I like a lot of the things that they incorporated in the Disney movie, even though they only made Belle super smart because they were worried about Ariel not being the best role model for young kids. I mean, that's one of my favorite fun facts about Beauty and the Beast. Someone can fact check me, but I read somewhere that one of the reasons they made Belle highly intelligent and witty and smart and independently driven, even though she still ends up with a man, whatever. They did that because of Ariel, because The Little Mermaid had come out 2 years before, and they were like, we should reevaluate some of the things that we're teaching young women, or like, we can't have all of them change everything about themselves for a man. So they did that, and honestly, it's the best Disney film ever, so I can't complain. I will not complain. So let's stick with the movie at the moment. 2017? No, I don't remember anything. Oh my god, I was right, 2017. So after the 2017 movie came out, they came out with a bunch of these other things, obviously. That was a really good year for me in terms of being able to find Beauty and the Beast merch because it was everywhere, but I didn't like any of it. so I guess it wasn't that great, but also just people appreciating not important. Anyway, so both of these books I actually have received as a gift, so I have two of them. This book. This is like kind of like a coffee table book where you don't necessarily like sit down and read the whole thing. It's just cute to page through. So basically what they did is after the 2017 adaptation, whatever, this author went through a bunch of classic literature, even though some of this is not time period appropriate. Like we know that Beauty and the Beast takes place in like in the 1700s, and some of these came out in like 1900 something, so like way to fact check yourself. Lots of quotes that they thought that Belle would like, and then she annotates them, so it's really cute. So and they have little illustrations too, right? So we have like book quotes, and then Belle will say something on this side, and then there's usually a cute little picture or something. Like, it's sweet. It's a really sweet book, and they were both gifted to me at different times, and I am forever grateful, and I will never get rid of either one of them. So I was very appreciative both times. The fact that someone would think of me and something that I like and like give me something based on that is like, my heart overflows. Still pertaining to the 2017 live action. The way I'm about to destroy my Arabian Nights. Somewhere safe. Oh. I literally, you guys, my life, I have my interests, and I don't normally delve outside of them. After the 2017 live action, this author, Jennifer Donnelly, also came out with a book that was a companion novel to the movie, so it takes place within the movie. So it's its own story within the story that we don't get to see during the film. Okay, so basically, it's really just its own thing, but Love and Death are siblings, and they are in a fight with each other, and I'm gonna do a really bad job explaining this. Basically, they have made a bet, and if Love cannot win between Belle and the Beast, then Death gets to take him. Obviously, like, they get to die, and then she wins. Right, because that's how it works. And it's a portal book, so if you aren't into portal books, it's not going to be the best for you. But basically, Death cheats, because this is, yes, and creates this magical book that Belle finds in the library that Beast gives her, which allows her to be transported into this other land, but she doesn't know that if she eats 3 things there and returns 3 times, she will be stuck there forever. So it turns out to be, you know, not the greatest place. It was a really interesting read. It's an interesting companion novel to the movie. I wouldn't say alone by itself it's that great, but to kind of have an extra story within a world that you really already love is always great. I kind of like those filler episodes. It's kind of like a filler episode of a TV series. So it was interesting. I've read it more than once just because I think it's comforting, but it's cute. It's not amazing though. So whatever. Oh my god, we're only like halfway through. Wait, I'm gonna talk about the ones that there's also a bunch that I don't own. So I mean that I've read. So I'm just gonna read through some of them. Rose Daughter is a really older, I don't want to say really old, older retelling of it. It's very traditional. It stays very close to the original tale. I don't remember it being phenomenal. It was fine. I mean, the thing is, like, the original tale is like 15 pages. And they took this 15-page short story, whatever, and turned it into a novel. But they didn't really add anything. Like, you have to add something to the story, otherwise it gets boring. So that, I think, was my issue with that book. I read Hunted recently. I got that from the library. I really liked Hunted, and I really liked what they did with, like, the Gaston character. It was very clearly a retelling of the animated movie, but with its own thing. So, like, Belle was kind of a hunter, and she could use a bow and arrow. She was kind of a badass. And the Gaston character was, I mean, he was also a hunter who honestly was in love with her, and she actually really liked him too. But, wait, I can't spoil anything. I mean, I can, it's my channel, I can do what I want. I don't want to spoil anything, but things happen, and we get like, so, God, I am so bad at explaining things. I'm so sorry. So the chapters go back and forth between Belle, and her name isn't Belle, I literally think her name is Beauty, which also, like, we need to stop doing that. Like, stop just naming her Beauty. Like, I get that it means, like, Belle means beauty, but at least it's not just, like, the word. Okay, sorry. I go back and forth between Belle and Beauty and the Beast. I hate that. But the Beast's chapters are all very animalistic. Like, he has, like, his brain working a certain way because he's an animal cursed to, like, be this beast monster thing. And it was cool because the chapters were written as if, you know, he was this animal, and we got to see him shift over time to being more and more human as she was able to remind him of himself. Anyway, it was really good, and it really wasn't that long. And I would say of Beauty and the Beast retellings I've read, in terms of being, like, true to the animated version, if that's what you're going based off of, but in, like, truthfulness to the animated version, while still paying homage to the original, because in the original she has many sisters, and in this one she also has sisters. It was good. Did that make sense? I hope that made sense. I also read Tale as Old as Time, which is one of the twisted tales where it's the same story as the animated version, but it's like a what-if scenario. So in this one, the Enchantress is actually Belle's mom. I remember I gave it like 4 or 5 stars. I'll be honest, it was like 4 years ago and I don't remember anything. So maybe I'll have to reread it. And then, of course, we have A Court of Thorns and Roses. This series is very popular. Very popular. It was fine. I think I gave it 4 stars. I had no beef with this book other than it was pretty boring until the end. But the end is when it, like, veered away from being a Beauty and the Beast retelling, so I mean, take it for what it is. I actually thought, I mean, it was fine. I didn't know it was a Beauty and the Beast retelling when I was reading it at first, and then after it was pointed out to me, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But, like, up until that point, I was like, oh, okay, this is just what it is. Like, I mean, the ugly part is that he's, like, what, forced to, like, have a mask stuck to his face or something? I don't know. Tamlin. So, okay, going back to books I own, I guess. Right before I read A Court of Thorns and Roses, I read A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I loved this book. This book is not for everyone. I've only read it once, so honestly, take my word for what it is, which is nothing, but I chugged along through this book. It's not super short, and I think I read it in a day, maybe a day and a half, and this book. I liked that we had a disabled main character. I liked that it was definitely Beauty and the Beast, but it wasn't thrown in our face, I guess. Well, no, it kind of was. I don't know. I just thought it was well done. And I like that after this book, because it's a trilogy, I have not read the 3rd one yet, but I liked that after this book, Bridget kind of put it into her own. Like, she changed the story, right? So it's Beauty and the Beast, but there's more happening than just that story. And also, we got a really cool view of being a prince with this ailment, right? Because we learn a lot about how it's affected the community and the kingdom in which this has all been occurring in. So I don't know, I thought that was really interesting. It's not for everyone though, so I get it. I read this book in like 8th grade. This is one of the few books I actually like have remembered since reading it. Like, if it's been a while. I remember really liking it. I also really remember thinking that the live action was stupid because he wasn't even a beast. They just like gave him tattoos or something on his face. Whatever. I like the name Lindy. I don't know. I thought, from what I remember, this book was really good. This is another one that I should probably reread eventually. The Beast's Heart is one of the few retellings that actually is 100% from the Beast's perspective, which I thought was really cool. Unfortunately, I thought the writing in this was super boring, and also, once again, it does a good job staying true to the original tale. It's great. I love that. But once again, we have this thing where we take a 15-page short story and turn it into a novel. and it becomes kind of monotonous after a while because if you haven't read the original tale or a lot of retellings, one of the big things is that the beast is required to ask her to marry him every single night, and every night she refuses him. And so it's just a lot of that, which is really sweet, but in terms of being true to the original and being unique in the sense that it's all from the beast's perspective, bravo. You did it. An honorable mention goes to the Phantom of the Opera because I never saw this as a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and then it was pointed out to me that it kind of is, and I was like, I can't argue with that. Honorable mention. I love the Phantom of the Opera. It's one of my favorite musicals. It's one of my favorite books. Raoul is my king. One of the few times that I am glad that the Belle character doesn't end up with the Beast character. Phantom is scary, man. But also a great book. And if you haven't read it, go read it. Oh my god. Is Bookish and the Beast. This book, I'm still obsessed with it. I have yet to reread it. I just thought this was the cutest book ever. And I liked that they were nerdy. I liked that they had queer people. I liked that we had people of color in it. I liked that it was definitely a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but once again, it wasn't like, I don't know. It was exactly what I signed up for. And forever thank you to Catherine Zofrey for recommending this to me. It's become one of my most favorite books, and I'm so glad that I read it. So shout out to you forever. And I don't know, this cover is like all my favorite colors. I love this. I love her. She's so cute. This book. So 10 out of 10. I just thought it was really well done. And also it really speaks to the nerd within me, with it being about like a Comic-Con and nerdy books. And I don't know, there's just something about it that is just so, I just really like it. So that is all I have for this video. When I find and or think of other retellings that I have read, I will continue this saga. I'm always looking for more recommendations, so if you have any, please leave them in the comments down below. I will definitely read them. If you've stuck around this whole video, thank you so much for watching. You are incredible. I hope you are safe and healthy, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see you next time.